Hey guys, what's up? It's Ashley and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a little bit since the last time I talked to you guys, maybe about a week ago. Now, before we begin today's video, I do have a little bit of an announcement. I'm sure a lot of you guys can already tell, and it is that your girl got braces. What? Do you see these little things in my mouth? If you guys don't follow my vlog channel, then you guys wouldn't know this, which reminds me, totally follow my vlogging channel because you guys are pretty much like the first people to know about things because I do almost daily vlogs over there, and I've already posted a vlog like on my braces and stuff like that. I do have braces just on my top teeth. My teeth were slightly crooked. I know a lot of you guys did notice because I did have comments in the past saying fix your teeth, all that stuff. I did not fix my teeth for the people commenting that. I fixed my teeth for myself. So I will have braces on for like 6 months or so. So it's not too bad. I'm actually not really minding it. My teeth are just a little bit sore. So I just wanted to kind of clear that air before we got into the video because I know if I did it, a lot of you guys would be like, what the heck? What is in your mouth? You got braces? Why didn't you tell us? So now that we got that out of the way, it's time to get into today's video, the topic, what we're doing, all of that. So today I want to do a new At The Drugstore video. The main reason I want to do this is because the drugstore is literally booming with a ton of new products. Like it's booming, the aisles are like jam-packed with new displays and so many new goodies. And when I walked in there, I wasn't anticipating seeing all these new products. But when I saw them, I immediately thought of you guys, and I thought this would be a really fun, kind of cool video to kind of share with you guys because I know a lot of you guys have really been asking for like more drugstore videos, and trust me when I tell you, I hear you, I feel you, I see you, and those are definitely coming your way. In no particular order, I'm just going to start grabbing items and sharing them with you. So the very first item I have right here is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Cushion Buildable Luminous Foundation. Now, I have a foundation like this. It is by Lancome, and I do love the concept. I do have mine in N3.5. It says that it is a liquid, so when you open it up, it says L'Oreal Paris right here. It has like a little cushion pad. I think this is what you apply the foundation with. It doesn't really have like a scent or anything like that, but I will say that the pad is very, very saturated. So just by sticking my finger in there, you can see how much product is kind of like just, you know, sitting on my finger. When I put it on the back of my hand, it just really blends into the skin. It does look like a sheer coverage, nothing too full coverage, but like I said, I've never ever tried this product on my face, so I definitely have to kind of play with it a little bit and see how it is. This next foundation is actually a foundation that I was very, very, very excited about when I saw it, and it is the Revlon Color Stay 2-in-1 foundation. So it is a 2-in-1 compact makeup and also concealer. I did pick mine up in the shade 150 Buff, and what I think is really cool about this product is that the foundation portion of it is extremely creamy. Like it's so freaking creamy. I will say that I got a shade way too light for my skin tone. As you can see, that's just not gonna fly. Like it's way too light. So if you are of my skin tone, I definitely recommend picking up one of these that is a little bit darker than 150 Buff. So that is that. It also comes with a concealer. I do like for my concealers to be a little bit lighter than my actual foundation. And in this 2-in-1 compact, the foundation and the concealer are actually like the same color. So I would probably use this concealer as like a spot concealer as opposed to like a brightening concealer underneath the eyes. But again, that's just my personal preference. Since we're already on the trend of foundation, I'm just going to get this last foundation out of the way. This is the Maybelline New York Dream Velvet Soft Matte Hydrating Foundation. Can we rewind a little bit? It says Soft Matte Hydrating Foundation. Now, I've never seen a matte foundation that is hydrating to the face. It sounds a little bit off, but I'm actually really excited to give it a try. I'm in the shade 75 Natural Beige, and it comes in this kind of like matte tube right here. When I put it on the back of my hand, it is more alongside like a whipped foundation. So that's pretty cool. Just putting it on the back of my hand, it kind of reminds me of that Rimmel Stay Matte foundation that came out maybe about a year to 2 years ago. And that's a foundation I really liked. Holy cow. Look at this. This is very, very full coverage, and this is definitely my shade, so I'm excited. So I did put a lot on the back of my hand, but that's the coverage it gives right there. I will say that it is very hydrating on the skin. It doesn't feel drying at all, and I don't know, I just have to kind of like blend it in to see what I think about it. So as you can see right here, I blended the product pretty good into my hands, and it's so soft. It's very silky on the skin. It doesn't feel heavy at all. I'm actually really excited to play with this and put this on my face. So that is the Maybelline Dream Velvet Soft Matte Hydrating Foundation. What's really cool about that foundation is that Maybelline also came out with their Dream Blender Foundation Blending Sponge. And the thing about this is that it does come like on a stick. I've never ever used this. It comes like on a little stick right here. I will say that this is a little bit hard to touch, like just putting it on my face, it is a little bit hard. I am going to wet it to see if it kind of, you know, blows up like the Beauty Blender a little bit, because I know like Beauty Blenders are pretty hard and they're not easy to apply your foundation with when they're not damp. So I will wet this and I will let you guys know what I think about it in combination with the Dream Velvet Soft Matte Hydrating Foundation, because apparently you're supposed to use these two things together. Moving on, drugstore brands are coming out with a ton of different palettes. I'm talking eyeshadow palettes, contour palettes, and they're making it a lot easier for us as women to create full, complete looks using all drugstore products, which I think is absolutely amazing. So the very first product I want to share with you guys is an eyeshadow palette. This one is by Milani, and this is the Milani Everyday Eyes eyeshadow palette, which looks like this bad boy right here. I decided to get this one because it has an array of colors. It has some shimmers, it also has some mattes, and it also has a pop of color in there, as you can see, like that orange, and it also has some really nice neutral tone shades, which I feel like is going to be really awesome for like an everyday kind of eyeshadow look with like a semi pop of color. What I really like about this palette is that it also comes with like a dual-ended brush. Milani kind of stepped it up when they put like a real deal brush in their palette, because a lot of makeup companies are coming out with, you know, kind of like those sponge tip applicators that really aren't in anymore, because those aren't really what we use to do our makeup anymore. So I really like that Milani came out with like a brush in this little palette right here. For the eyeshadows, they are extremely pigmented, especially like the matte shadows. I'm very impressed with the matte shadow. So that's the orange one, that is the brown one. As you can see, this kind of shimmer shade right here, it's extremely pigmented. So that's like one of the Milani kind of like shimmer shades. This is like their bronze shade. So I really like the palette. I feel like it's very pigmented, and I feel like they did a really awesome job with it. The next eyeshadow palette I have is the CoverGirl True Naked Roses eyeshadow palette, and what it says right here in a little sticker, it says shades like a leading $50 eyeshadow palette. I have no idea if that's true, because like I said, I didn't try any of these products out, but opening it up, they did include a sponge tip applicator, which we don't use, so that's no good for us. But just looking at this palette right here, I can tell you it looks like a ripoff of the Urban Decay Naked palette, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. And I'm talking about the Naked 2 palette with a lot of like the rose gold colors and things like that. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It's actually a pretty good thing for the drugstore, because if they have shades like the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette, then it could be, you know, worth purchasing if the shadows do live up to the consistency of that eyeshadow palette. So let's go ahead and swatch some of these right here. I will say that they are very creamy, especially like the matte shades right here. And then the shimmer shades are pretty pigmented. I will say that I really like the shimmer shades in this palette. They are very pigmented. So that's some of the shades swatched on my hand right here. This is like that bronzy shade right here, and as you can see, they are pretty pigmented. So that's what the pigmentation looks like of this palette. I'm pretty impressed with it. I will say the matte shades are a little bit too they're kind of like breaking on me. They're a little bit too soft. I'm not sure if this palette is new or not, but I picked up the Revlon Color Stay Not Just Nudes eyeshadow palette, and I don't think this came out in January. I want to say I seen this in the drugstore in like December, so I'm not really sure if it's new or not. If it's not new, I'm still going to mention it. So the brush, they came out with a dual-ended brush, which I appreciate, so go you Revlon. So this is what the palette looks like right here. It has a mixture between neutral shades and also like some pops of color. I really love the array of colors that they decided to put in this particular palette. Like I said, it comes with neutral shades, it comes with some shimmer shades, also some matte shades, and also like pops of colors right over here. So this is what some of the shadows look like swatched on my hand. I will say that they're not as pigmented as the CoverGirl True Naked palette, which is a little bit unfortunate, but they're not horrible. I'm not gonna knock Revlon for that, but they're just not as pigmented as the CoverGirl True Naked palette. If I had to pick one, I would definitely pick up the CoverGirl True Naked palette over this Revlon palette, just for the simple fact that some of the lighter shades aren't really as pigmented as like the darker shades. The next eyeshadow palette is from Maybelline. This is Maybelline's The Rock Nudes eyeshadow palette. And this is kind of like a jump off of the nudes palette that Maybelline always comes out with. You guys know they came out with the nudes, they came out with the blush nudes, and now this is the Rock Nudes. It has some deeper tones in here, so I feel like these shades would be awesome for like a night out look. I really love these palettes. They are very compact. You can toss them into your purse, and I really love the consistency of the eyeshadow palettes. I do feel like they are pretty pigmented, so I'm going to swatch some of them on my hands right now. So this is the pigmentation of the eyeshadows in this particular palette. I will swatch this one just because this glitter one looks pretty awesome. So that is the pigmentation of these shadows. I really love these Maybelline eyeshadow palettes. I love the nudes one, the blush nudes. That one's probably my favorite. I'm not sure how much I will like this one just because I don't really wear like deep colors on my eyes, but I feel like it's gonna come in handy when I do wanna do kind of like a smoky, kind of like night out look. Honestly, if you guys could see my pants right now, you'd probably laugh because I'm literally just wiping all the eyeshadow swatches on my sweatpants. I hope it comes out in the wash. Moving on to some contour kits. I did find 3 contour kits. I want to say that there are some more out there that are new in the drugstore. I just couldn't get my hands on them. So the very first one I'm going to talk to you guys about is the Rimmel London Highlight Contour and Blush Palette. This is what it looks like right here. It comes in a really nice kind of like sleek packaging, which I appreciate. So this is what the colors look like. I've already swatched them. So I'm just going to swatch the highlight shade, the contour shade, and also the blush shade. Just by looking at it, they're not really all that pigmented. I will say that the contour shade is very warm. I would not use this shade to contour more than I would to bronze. So I would definitely use this contour shade to bronze, and bronzing is just kind of adding some dimension to the cheeks, whereas contouring is chiseling out certain features of your face. I really love for my contour shades to be a little bit more on the cool side as opposed to the warm side, but that's just definitely a personal preference. I will say that the highlight shade is not that pigmented at all. I feel like I really have to dig my finger into the product to pick something up at all, and the blush shade is very shimmery. So if you are really into like shimmery blushes, then this would definitely be the palette for you. This is what the shades look like swatched on my hand. The highlight shade does not come up at all, and the blush shade kind of comes up very shimmery, and then the bronze. So those are just my thoughts, kind of just swatching the products. I will play around with them. I'm not gonna kind of mark them off my list just by kind of swatching them. I do want to use them on my face to see what I think about them. So with that being said, I'm going to move on to the next product, and it is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Contour Palette, which looks like this. This is the contour and highlight palette. So it only has a contour and highlight shade. I will say just by looking at this palette right here that it is very big packaging for such a small amount of product. Let me know if you guys agree with me in the comments down below. It comes with a contour shade and also a highlight shade. So I'm going to swatch the highlight shade in. This is a highlight shade right here. I'm not flicking you guys off, but this is the highlight shade on my middle finger. It is very pigmented, and this is the contour shade. So the contour shade is very faint. It is very light. I will swatch them on the back of my hand so that way you guys can see them a little bit better. So this is what the product looks like on my hand. As you can see, the contour shade is very faint. I'm not sure if it's going to be buildable on the face. I will have to kind of try it out and see what I think about it. I will say that the highlight shade is very pretty. This is what the highlight shade looks like right there. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I really love the color. It's not too pink. It's also not too golden. So that is what the highlight shade. I will say that this contour shade is a little bit too light. I'm hoping that it's buildable, but it is very sheer. The next palette I have right here is the Maybelline New York Master Contour Kit, and this one is in the shade light to medium. So this is what it looks like right here. I really love how they have the product set up. If I had to say it reminded me of anything, I would definitely say it reminded me of the Urban Decay kind of blush to contour highlight palette, which I absolutely love. So I'm just going to swatch these shades shades right now so that way you guys can see them. This is what they look like right here. I have the contour shade in the very middle. I have this blush shade, and I also have the highlight shade. What I really like about this kit is that the blush shade is matte. I really love matte blushes, and the contour shade, it is a little bit more pigmented than the last product I shared with you guys, but not by much. So this is what the product looks like right here. You have the blush shade, the contour shade, and also the highlight. That is the Maybelline Master Contour Kit. I saw a few mascaras that I was really interested in trying, so I picked up 3 of them. I have the Maybelline Lash Sensational Luscious Mascara. This one is in the shade Very Black. Now let me tell you, I am so excited to try this product out because as you guys know, Lash Sensational, which was like in the purplish mauvish tube, was like my favorite mascara ever in the drugstore. So this is kind of like the sister version. This is like the jump off of Lash Sensational. This is Lash Sensational Luscious. So I'm very excited to try this out. I'm not gonna open up any of the mascaras just because I'm not gonna put them on right now. So it just kind of, you know, it just kind of adds to the video that doesn't need to be added. So the next mascara I have is the Plumpify Blast Pro Mascara. It says Extreme Plump and Lift. 50 times more volume, and this is by CoverGirl, so this is what the product looks like. I definitely want to do kind of like first impressions reviews, let you guys know if these actually work. So I'm very excited to do kind of like first impressions on some of these products. So like I said, CoverGirl Plumpify mascara. And the last mascara I picked up is from L'Oreal. I have no idea if this is new or not. I want to say it's new, but then again, it's probably not new. And it is the Voluminous Superstar Mascara, and I accidentally picked mine up in waterproof. I hate waterproof mascara, so we might have to return this. This is in 625 Black Noir. It has a primer and also a mascara. So it says super volumizing base. So you're supposed to put the base applicator, like primer, on first, and then you're gonna put the mascara, which says super extending ultra. So this is what the product looks like. I have no idea if this is gonna work. I'm excited to give it a try, so we'll see if I like it. Maybelline came out with a face setting powder. This is the Maybelline Master Fix Setting Perfecting Loose Powder. It's just a white translucent powder, and I feel like Maybelline is just like on their game. They know everyone's like into baking their concealer and things like that, so they came out with like this loose setting powder. And they also came out with the Maybelline Master Fix Wear Boosting Setting Spray. So it says locks and makeup long lasting finish. So this is what the product looks like. The next 2 products I picked up are actually nail polishes, and I do want to excuse myself because all throughout this video my nails have looked horrendous, but that's completely okay. That's completely besides the fact. So I picked up 2 nail polishes from Wet n Wild. It says One Step Wonder Gel. So I picked up this kind of blue one, and I picked up this mint one, and the mint one is in the shade Pretty Peas, and the blue one is in the shade Periwinkle of an Eye. Periwinkle of an Eye, that's some kind of name. So I picked up these 2 right here. I'm excited to give them a try. The next 2 products I picked up are actually from Milani. Milani came out with some goodies. They came out with 2 primers. They have the Prime Shield Face Primer. This one is mattifying and pore minimizing. They also came out with the Hydrating and Pore Minimizing, which is oil free. Then the next product Milani came out with was the Moisture Lock Grapeseed Oil Infused Lip Treatment. And this one is in the shade 04 Grapeseed. So it's in this really pretty kind of like purpley color, which I'm excited about. And I'm not gonna put this on my lips just because I have a lip product on, but I'm really excited because it's supposed to be very hydrating to the lips. So I'm definitely gonna pop this into my purse. Oh, and it smells really, really nice. Really, really nice. Since we're already talking about lippies, I might as well get a lip product out of the way. So the next 3 items I'm going to share with you are lip products from CoverGirl. CoverGirl came out with some really awesome lip products. Well, at least I think they're awesome just by looking at the packaging. The packaging is super duper cute. It's super sleek, it's super colorful, and I freaking love it. So the very first product I have is in their Oh Sugar Lip Collection. This one is in the shade Punch. So this is what the product looks like right here. And just swatching it, I will say that the product is very, very sheer, but it smells really, really, really good. And I will say that this is one of the main reasons I purchased it, was a little bit more for the scent, more than like the colors. But like I said, this one is in the shade Punch. It is very, very sheer. It's more of like a tinted lip balm than it is a lipstick. So the next one from CoverGirl is in the shade Soda, and it's more alongside like a berry toned. So I have Punch and I also have Soda right here. And like I said, very, very sheer. These are not lipstick. They're more alongside of lip balms. And the next one I picked up is this one in the shade Caramel, which I don't feel like you're gonna be able to see because it is a very nude color. This one is in the shade Caramel right here. Maybelline came out with some of their new Vivid Matte Liquid lipsticks. Now, the name is a little bit deceiving, I'm not gonna lie, because when I think liquid matte, I think something a little bit more drying to the lips, but these are more alongside like a hydrating matte. If I had to compare the consistency to anything, I would definitely compare the consistency to like a soft matte lip cream by NYX, except it doesn't dry matte. Like it's not drying, it's not gonna dry like a ColourPop liquid lipstick or Kylie Jenner's lip kits, anything like that. So it's not gonna dry like that. It does stay pretty hydrated on the lips, but the consistency is very like moussey, if that makes any sense. So this is what the product looks like swatched on my hand. This is in the shade 40 Berry Boost. So that's what the product looks like. Very, very pigmented, extreme color. It's just not matte. I do love the formula. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. It's more alongside like just a crushed up lipstick and like a liquid form. It's not extremely like high gloss, but it's also not matte either. It's somewhere like in between, if that makes any sense. So this next one is in the shade Nude Thrill number 5. So that's what it looks like. I honestly will say that I really love these products. Even though the name is a little bit deceiving, I really love the consistency, I really love the texture, I really love the pigmentation. So I think Maybelline did an awesome job with the product itself. Moving on, I have some products from L'Oreal. These are the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer Pencil. This is what the product looks like right here. Now, just looking at it in the packaging, I will say that it looks very similar to the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz, which is why I decided to pick it up. It's very sleek. It has an ultra fine tip, and it also has a blending brush on the very end right here. And I got mine in the shade Dark Brunette 390, so that's what it looks like. L'Oreal also came out with the Brow Stylist Prep and Shape Brow Kit, and I'm actually very excited to like tear this packaging open. So this is what the product looks like right here. So it has a brow powder, also has a wax, comes with a little mini tweezer, and also a brow kind of like pencil. So it has like a little spoolie and also like the angled brush on the end right here. So I think that's very cool. So that's what the product looks like. It's very sleek, very travel friendly. And like I said, this is the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Prep and Shape Pro Kit. So you go L'Oreal. Now Maybelline also came out with a brow product, and this is the Brow Drama by Eye Studio Sculpted Brows Creamy Sculpting and Filling Formula. So just opening it up, it does look like a big old crayon for your eyebrows. I'm not sure how this is really going to work out. I'm not sure if it's gonna be too waxy. It's more alongside like a crayon pomade. So once putting it on, wow, that's actually really nice. So looking at it right here, as you can see, this is a brow product. It's very blendable. So I feel like putting it on your brows, it's not gonna be too waxy. It's not as deep and thick as like the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade. It's very blendable. So I feel like if you put it in your brows and kind of blend it out, it's gonna leave a nice tint behind your brows. So I'm excited to give this a try and see if I really like it. The next product I have right here are the Ardell Press On Lashes. It says Soft Flex Applicator. Just press and go. Self-adhesive. So this is what the product looks like, and immediately when I saw it, I knew that I wanted to do a test it out press-on lashes, see if it really works. Is it easier than applying a strip of glue to lashes and just popping them on? Or is it easier to use press-on lashes with a self-adhesive applicator? So that's what they look like. I did get mine in the style Wispy, so I'm going to be doing a first impression on these and let you guys know if this is a lot easier than applying a strip of glue to lashes and just popping them on. Like I just really want to know. Maybelline also came out with the Color Tattoo 24-hour crayon concentrated kind of like pencil thingamajig. So this is what it looks like. It's just like a chunky pencil. And when I think Color Tattoo, I immediately think of like their Color Tattoo pots. I think it's really cool that they did put it inside of like a crayon formulation because it's really hard to like get inside of that pot. So it's really cool to kind of just draw on your eye, if that makes sense. So This is what the product looks like. The consistency is very, very similar to a color tattoo. I really love this purple one. I'm over here blending it out before I even show you. So this is what the purple one looks like. This one is in the shade Lilac Lust. I really love that. I'm actually really excited to use it in a tutorial. The next one right here is the Color Tattoo Creamy Chocolate. So this one is an, ooh, golly, that's pretty. So this is what creamy chocolate looks like right here. Guys, I'm legit excited. So you guys, that is pretty much it for all the items I picked up at the drugstore. Let me know which one you guys want to see reviews on. I'm definitely doing a tested out video on the press-on lashes because like I'm so curious, but I want to know what you guys want to see me use. If you guys want to see drugstore looks, using certain foundations, first impressions, reviews, that kind of thing, you guys know the drill. What am I doing? I don't know, but let me know your thoughts because I would love to know in the comments down below. And that is it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, do not forget to subscribe by clicking right over here. And don't forget to check out my vlogging channel because everybody on my vlogging channel is like the first to know about awesome stuff. So if you want to know about awesome stuff first, subscribe to the vlogging channel and I'll be sure to see you guys all in the next video. Bye guys.